In this sketchbook challenge, we're going to take a look at how to draw a rose, and we're going to start by just drawing a few lines to set up a basic structure. So we've got a nice curved line that will be the stem of the rose, and then we'll just draw a couple of lines to kind of encompass the main shape of the flower itself. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting some of the contour lines that exist, starting with the predominant outlines that we see at the top of the rose, and then some of the dominant lines that exist on the inside. We'll also define a few of the petals coming off the main portion of the rose as well here. Contour lines are basically just outlines, so we're just kind of looking at the outlines at this stage in the drawing. We'll also go ahead and add one of the leaves that's going to exist on the stem. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to continue to develop these contour lines. So now we're going to kind of look at some of the secondary lines that exist. These are important and will help to define the individual petals inside of the flower itself. Drawing lightly and loosely at this stage in the drawing, we'll go back and darken up some of the contour lines and add some shading later in the drawing. We'll also go ahead and add another leaf to the stem to make it a bit more interesting. The next step is just a continuation of what we've already been doing. We're going to be paying attention to the contour lines and just trying to draw them the best that we can. There's a lot of little details that happen in the center portion of a rose, but if you just kind of pay attention to a rose itself, probably look at a photograph, that would be a good way to go. But if you're following this step by step, this will help you to understand what lines are happening in the inside portion of a rose. Now that we've got our contour lines kind of sketched out, we're going to define them more now. We can make these lines a little bit thicker in areas. We can put a little bit more pressure on the pencil and make them darker as well. So by making the line a little bit thicker in some areas, we are enhancing the line quality, which is going to help create the illusion of the form of the flower, and it's also going to add a little bit of an indication of a light source, which in our case, the light source will be coming from the left side. We can also add details at this stage. Since we've set up the basic shapes of the flower early on in the drawing, we can be more confident with the contour lines that we place on the paper now. Now that we've got our contour lines defined, we can start to add some of the shading or value. Value is the darkness or lightness of a color, and it is what informs us about the actual form of the object. Since the light source is originating from the left side, there are going to be more shadows on the right side of the flower. The tips of the flower petals are going to be lighter because more light can reach them, but as they go down into the flower, they're going to get darker in value. It's a good idea to have some really dark areas and some light areas and some values that are somewhere in between. This will create a full range of value in your drawing and help better create the illusion of form. Many of the shadows that we see in this drawing are cast shadows, because something is in the way of the light source, preventing light from reaching that area. You can also add a little bit of shading to the stem and just a bit to the leaf. Remember, draw something every day and you'll watch your drawing improve. If you're looking for ideas, don't forget to visit sketchbooknation.com.